Natasha.
Debbie.
Show.
The show.
Welcome to it. Just two patriotic girls.
Learning about the world.
So please, don't take us the wrong way.
Hello. Welcome to the Natasha and Debbie show. And congratulations to Natasha. It's 20 years sober from alcoholism today.
Thank you.
I am so very proud of you.
Thank you.
And I know we are going to have a great day celebrating you.
Are we?
I believe we will.
I like celebrating you. That's cool. That's awesome.
You
Thank you.
deserve
And I
it.
appreciate that. Anybody out there that didn't or don't want to, that's fine. But 2 years ago, I did a live here on YouTube. You can find it under the videos marked live. And it's about addiction. And there's been a few people that actually have gotten sober from watching that video, which is, wow, huge deal. So I want to throw that back out there. I'll put a link in that to the description in this video, which may seem weird, but for anyone that needs help, if I can do it in 20 years, you can do it too, okay? If there's anyone watching this that's struggling with addiction of any kind, I can do it, so can you. So I'm gonna link that video in the description of our video here for the live that I did 2 years ago today. And if you're struggling, please watch it, okay? This is not why we're here, but if you wouldn't mind hitting that like button and
Also consider subscribing. It's absolutely free.
so we're gonna do something that we have not done on this channel. We've looked at so many wonderful places in England and Wales and a little bit, not really so much in Scotland. But there's one place we've been wanting to look at, and we've been waiting for the perfect video and the perfect person. Well, we found the perfect person and the perfect video. We haven't watched the perfect video yet, but this is from a channel that I need, and I'm gonna ask you this as a personal favor from me. We have really become good friends with a lot of content creators that we've reacted to. And I can tell you right now that this girl is probably, this woman is probably one of the nicest people we've ever spoke to. One of the most,
Absolutely. She's been awesome to work with.
oh my gosh, you guys, she is so nice and so sweet. And she makes quality videos. Please, I'm asking as a personal favor for me and Debbie to go to her channel and subscribe. Her name is Ashley. Her channel is AK Faso or Faso. Sorry, I'm not sure how to pronounce that right. But she puts some really great videos together that you will love. I've watched a couple, fell in love with them, and that's why we know this is going to be perfect. And this video has gotten a lot of great comments, a lot of great views. It's not been up long. But please go subscribe to her channel. She's awesome. Ashley, thank you so much for being so great. She's just such a great, nice, kind person. And what's this one called, hon?
This is called 20 Things to Do in Edinburgh, or Edinburgh, or Edinburgh. I'm
Scotland.
going to say it in all the ways.
First Timer's Guide. And in this one, she says, join me on a 3-day solo adventure to Edinburgh, Scotland. I'll take you on a tour of the must-see sites, provide some tips on how to navigate the city, highlight a few hidden gems. We like hidden gems.
Absolutely.
Edinburgh was truly a dream city, and though I could have spent days there, a weekend was the perfect amount of time to get a full taste. So we've never seen it, ever. We've looked at the Christmas market there last year, and
Tiny
maybe
places there.
a minute or two. But this is our first time truly seeing Edinburgh, and really excited about it. I've loved what we have seen of Scotland so far. So it's time to check out Edinburgh. Ooh.
Hey, my name is Ashley, and I just wrapped up a 72-hour solo trip to Edinburgh, Scotland. This was my first time visiting this historic city, and I'm happy to share with you some travel tips I learned along the way, suggest things for you to see and do on your visit, and take you on a quick tour of my accommodations. Let's jump into it.
Okay.
Can't wait.
I'm already loving this.
Edinburgh is situated along the eastern coast of Scotland and is the capital of the country. If you're flying in, Edinburgh Airport is just inside the city limits with a simple tram service getting you to the city center in just about 40 minutes. I purchased my round-trip ticket in advance and was on the tram in no time. You can also purchase tickets from the local kiosks or the app. The tram system is super intuitive with only one line running back and forth through the city. At several points, you can hop off in favor of commuter rails and a robust bus network, or you can forego all of this in favor of a rental car. But
Now, one
do
of you
keep
pick
in
us up.
mind that folks here drive on the left side of the road.
That's the part I don't like.
Honestly
It's a good
speaking, I
reminder.
found the city to be highly walkable, so if you don't mind a few hills, I'd say a rental car is really not necessary.
I mind hills. Kidding.
For most visitors, you'll likely be staying in the New Town or Old Town areas, as those appear to hold the greatest concentration of notable sites and
Okay.
make up Edinburgh's UNESCO World Heritage
Good
Site.
to know.
I booked the Intercontinental
Wow.
Edinburgh The George, which is
Hold up. Whoa.
a heritage site. I booked
That's a freaking hotel.
That's pretty awesome for a hotel.
Looks like one of our courthouses or something, like downtown Cincinnati.
Yeah.
That is a cool hotel. Did
mean-
you see the inside that they started the show?
I know. I can't wait to see more of it.
Yeah, sorry.
booked the Intercontinental Edinburgh The George, which
The
is an
George.
IHG hotel in
Dang.
Newtown.
Very fancy. Yeah.
The foundation of this hotel dates back to 1766, but the bank-like facade that we see now was built in 1840 as part of the Caledonian Insurance Company.
Rooms are,
I
that's
loved
beautiful.
walking through the hallways, hearing the creaking of the wood floors below the carpet. It brought out a certain charm that just completely set the scene for my time in Edinburgh.
What's it cost?
And here's a look at my room specifically, which I found to be cozy and clean.
Very
Nice. Modern. Like it. Want it. I could maybe fit in that.
nice.
That's pretty.
After settling in, I paid a visit to Andrew at the concierge desk, who sat with me for about 30 minutes detailing the most popular things I needed to see and do, and
job,
giving
Andrew.
me his personal recommendations for places he frequents
Wow.
as a local. What I share with you now is thanks in large part to Andrew's suggestions, and I'm just going to go in the order I did things, not by any particular ranking system.
Deal.
Perfect.
Like your boots. The size you wear.
I have to say, everything I'm seeing around the city so far is just absolutely stunning. The architecture of the buildings,
Mhm.
and it looks
Mhm.
so clean there.
Yeah, it does
That's what
look
I'm
clean.
noticing,
It
too.
looks very beautiful. There's so many shops that I'm already like in my head running inside and buying
Uh-huh.
stuff. That hotel, I want to know what it cost.
Mhm.
I know in her original video, which again, please go to her channel. We'll link the video and the channel. She's got links to I think every place she went or stayed or
Oh,
whatnot.
perfect.
I don't know about every place.
Mhm.
But yeah, it looks stunning and I can't wait to see more.
With jet lag creeping in, my first stop was a sunset stroll across town for dinner.
Ooh, what'd you have?
Sounds nice.
That's beautiful. Where's that? This looks very expensive. Like rich
Nestled
people
within
area.
the Stockbridge neighborhood, the Scran and Scally is a gastropub
Scran.
featuring delectable Scottish food sourced from local suppliers.
Okay, perfect.
Nice.
I indulged in a haggis dish alongside seared Orkney scallops and was convinced into a whiskey tasting, making this entire
Well, this isn't going to work for me. I'm never eating haggis. Stop asking me to. I'm allergic to scallops and I don't drink. So, what am I
Well-
having? Got fish and chips?
I'm sure they have something else there.
Fish and chips and some mushy peas. That's all I need.
meal, in my humble opinion, the perfect introduction to Scotland.
I'll eat
My
haggis
favorite whiskey
once.
of the three was this one.
Once.
If you're seeking a bit of nightlife, you might want to check out Rose Street in Newtown, which
Okay.
I stumbled upon on my walk back to the hotel. This felt like a local college hangout, but did have a good mix of ages and was a bustling thoroughfare of pubs and music venues. The Black Cat was recommended to me for its authentic Scottish music vibes, but it was pretty quiet when I popped in.
I want to go there.
I love the taxis.
The
I do
next
too.
day
Black Cats.
was a day. I walked about 15 miles round trip, hitting some of Edinburgh's lesser visited sites while truly trying to take in the local communities.
That's a lot of
Up
walking.
fairly early, I began my morning in Dean Village, a
That's
quintessential milling community.
Wow.
Give me Bristol vibes,
Yes.
just in some ways.
Yes.
This is so gorgeous.
Mhm.
There's areas where it's just beautiful, like you can tell older
Yeah.
architecture. And then this is still older, right? But then you got the colorfulness.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a word. Colorfulness? I don't think it is. Don't know.
Brightness?
Brightness, color,
Right.
more color.
Color.
More color than not.
Just color.
And then you get the creeks,
Uh-huh. The greeny
wildlife.
greenery.
It's like everything in one place.
Yeah, it is.
And the nightlife area looked nice. I want to know more about that.
Mhm.
Locals, please let us know. Yeah, and shut up, Natasha.
Founded in the 12th century.
See?
What drew me to this location was its picturesque architecture and distinctly quaint neighborhood feels.
Yes.
It was aesthetically a town preserved in time, yet modern life was evident throughout.
I want to live there. Aw.
From here, I descended upon the Water
Sorry.
of Leith walkway, a well-maintained
Water of Leith.
13-mile path offering a peaceful promenade past many areas of interest.
13-mile path.
You
Sounds
can
beautiful.
join the path at a number of different
Yeah.
spots and even enjoy an audio trail guide along the way.
Okay.
Going on a 13-mile walk.
I'm not doing that. Where's a bike?
I
Can't ride a
walked
bike.
the path for a short distance before exiting at the Stockbridge Market, open
Yeah.
every Sunday from 10 to 4. I must say, I had high hopes for this market and it did not disappoint.
I want to go here. I
It
don't
was
see the Edinburgh.
fairly small, but it was packed with enthusiastic locals and visitors alike, conversing with various vendors selling meats, cheeses, whiskey, homemade products, and a whole lot more. I
love
bought
it.
an meats,
that a bag?
cheeses, whiskey, home.
Yeah,
I need one of those bags. If that's a bag. Yeah, it's a bag.
that is a bag.
But are they the kind that like I wear? Like mine that has like the open?
Uh-huh.
I think they are.
Well, no, it looks like they zipper.
Well, look like they're different ones.
Yeah, I'm sure there are different ones.
Those are cool. Sorry, I'm loving this.
She likes a flat bag.
A what bag?
Flap.
I don't like that word. I'm loving this video and I want to go here. This would be like a month. We need like a month in each country in the United Kingdom. Month in Scotland, month in Wales, month in England.
Yeah.
homemade products, and a whole lot
Northern
more.
Ireland.
I bought an apple tart from this stand. So good.
Yummy.
And then cheese from this booth. We
good
all
call.
need a block of cheese to ourselves from time to time, no?
Duh.
Yes, Ashley, we do.
Goodies in tow, I continued my walk through town, and specifically through the iconic Circus Lane, before eventually joining back up with the Water of Leith walkway.
Wow. That's stunning.
A short distance later, I arrived at the Royal Botanic Garden, featuring 70 acres of beautiful landscape
70?
dating back
Yeah,
over
70.
350 years.
Wow.
It actually had its start as a physic garden growing medicinal plants near Holyrood Abbey, but has since
Back by-
evolved as a global center for biodiversity science and horticulture.
Really cool. I would love that place.
Ah, a nice stream there.
This
Wow,
was
got a
such a
hedgerow.
peaceful retreat. I'd spent about 2 hours casually perusing the various areas of the garden and locating benches hidden within the foliage to reflect. They even had a little shop at the entrance where I secured a pouch of Scottish thistle seeds to bring back home to grow.
Can you do that?
Wow.
Can you do that?
I guess you can.
I didn't know you could do that. I want some. Sorry, I want everything. Like the waterfall there. I want to bring it home.
Just bottle of water. Just fill it up.
It's beautiful. So beautiful.
Exiting the garden, I connected back up with the Water of Leith walkway, this time noticing how distinctly local it felt along this section of path. There were no tourists over here, just Scottish folks enjoying the warming days of spring. One particular area that caught my eye was this tiered hillside, which I later learned was the Warriston allotments. Originally created for unemployed families during the 1920s depression, the city uses this space today, renting out plots to local growers on a yearly basis.
Wow, a lot of them.
According to their website, there's apparently an 8-year wait list to secure a plot.
Wow.
What?
Without too much fanfare, I finally arrived in Leith, an industrial port district at the water's edge. Since arriving home, I've realized that I may have missed the nicer area of Leith because my experience led me through a rather run-down and sad collection of city streets.
Don't feel bad, Ashley. I would have done the same thing. Also, Ashley, are you up for doing this again with us? Do a threesome?
Yeah.
That sounded wrong.
We can go on a tour together. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Say it right so I don't talk again.
Go on a tour with us
With
together.
3 people instead of a single. It's a solo trip.
Instead
I
of
was
by yourself.
thinking a threesome trip. That
Add
sounds.
2 more, which
I
would
didn't-
make 3.
This video is great.
Experience led me through a rather run-down and sad collection of city streets.
Still cool.
This was apparently the place to be. I, on the other hand, was on my way to the Royal Yacht Britannia, and
Ooh.
that's how I ended up here.
Heck yeah.
If you enjoy following all
We've
things
seen
royal,
this.
or perhaps indulge in
Remember?
a few too
Yeah.
many binges of The Crown on Netflix, you'll know how important the Royal Yacht Britannia was to the late Queen Elizabeth II. Launching in 1953, the yacht spent 44 years in royal service, calling at over 600 ports and 135 countries. Today, the ship remains tethered to the Scottish harbour, allowing visitors to browse its 5 decks and peer into carefully preserved cabins.
We did a whole video on this, and this is on our bucket list of places things and places we want to see, need to see.
Absolutely. Going to go on a tour there.
Yeah,
That's
so this just adds to the awesomeness that is Edinburgh for us and things we have to do. But I love what she's showing so far of it.
95% of items on display are original artifacts on loan from the Royal Collection.
Which is awesome.
This tour is led by a handheld audio guide, which I found to be super informative. It kept the flow of people moving at a nice pace, allowing me to really soak in the different spaces. If you've got kids, have no fear, there's a lot of interesting things for them to look at, but I think they'll find the adorable Corgi treasure hunt to be a particularly fun game.
There's a Corgi treasure hunt?
Yeah.
I want to do that.
And if you're hoping for a more lavish experience, well, the ship today has a hotel on board, an event space, and even a tea room.
I don't remember that.
I count this as a must-see attraction for your time in Edinburgh.
I don't remember that. I don't remember there being a hotel on board.
So that means you could stay on the ship? That would be awesome.
Maybe we did learn that, but if we did, I didn't recall. I would have thought I would remember that.
Must have missed over it. That's awesome.
Or we just weren't paying attention.
Must-see attraction for your time in Edinburgh.
Black cab. Hiring one just to hire one. That's cool.
After a quick break back at my hotel, I was keen to find the best view of the city and made my way over to Calton Hill. This was one of 3 spots recommended to me touting its panorama views of Edinburgh, and though I haven't shown you the other 2 yet, this was hands down my favorite.
Mine too.
Calton Hill is a short 5-minute climb up from the Newtown area and is host to the City Observatory and National Monument.
I love it.
It offers a completely unobstructed view of Edinburgh and surrounding neighborhoods.
Yes.
What I found most intriguing was the geological features of the city. Prior to this trip, I had no idea Edinburgh was nestled within such a volcanic landscape, and now I'd consider it to be one of its most defining characteristics.
We read, we didn't read, we heard that in one video when they showed it for like a half a second, and it did shock me too. But seeing it, like, look at this view right here. That is, I don't think anyone knows that doesn't live in the UK.
Right.
You know, because that's a shocking thought. And that's one of the reasons why it makes it so awesome, so beautiful, so unique.
Volcanic landscape, and now I'd consider it to be one of its most defining characteristics.
Because it's sexy. Hello. Hold on.
Defining characteristics.
Excuse me, sir. I'm going to need to inspect your kilt to make sure we're wearing it properly. I am officially a kilt inspector. I was going to get a shirt. I just didn't get it, but I'll just get a badge.
There you go.
And I'm going to wear that throughout the entirety of our trip to Scotland.
I know, you'll be whipping your badge out left and right.
Whipping my badge out, huh? Back to the video. Oh, that's
next
beautiful.
Next up was dinner at the Piper's Rest in Old Town, located just next to the Royal Mile. Don't worry, I plan to fully explore this tomorrow morning without the crowds, so more to come on that. But in the meantime, the Piper's Rest was a great casual dining venue with live music, good vibes, and
go
tasty
here.
burger.
Go here.
Wow.
Go here.
To close out the night, I made my way over to Mary King's Close, a ticketed tour through Edinburgh's only preserved 17th century street, a place which endured overcrowding, plagues, and so much more.
Okay.
Photos and video were unfortunately not allowed inside, but I'll share with you some tidbits I learned as we walked the Royal Mile in the morning. I'd highly recommend this tour if you're into history, and would even encourage you to book it at the start of your trip to get a full appreciation for the city as a whole.
We're like,
good tip.
Thank you.
On my way back to the hotel, I stopped by the Royal Oak, a 200-year-old pub known for its lively folk music and spontaneous performances. I was told this was another great place to hear some authentic Scottish music, but there was a ticketed event going on this evening, so I struck out again on nighttime entertainment.
Y'all know my love for Iron Brew 1901. Okay, specifically the 1901.
Yes.
Can you buy that in pubs in Scotland?
Good question.
Or can you only buy the crap? I don't like the other stuff anymore. The new stuff. Sure don't. So just want to know, because I'll be really sad if I come over there and I can't, excuse me, order myself a 1901. I don't want the other stuff. I want that stuff. I want the original recipe. So, never asked before. Can you get those in a pub in Scotland? Let me know.
It was probably for the better because the next morning was set to be an early one.
I don't like early mornings. Oh, hold on.
Morning was set to be
That's the
an
castle
early
background?
one.
It looks
Up
too
for
early,
sunrise
actually.
and out as the local milkmen made their rounds, I began my walk from Newtown.
They still do that there?
I know. I'm like, you still have milkman?
You still have milkmen?
You don't have milkman.
We haven't, there hasn't been a milkman since well before I was born. Was there any when you were a kid? You have no idea.
I don't know. I remember hearing of the milkman.
Me too.
But I don't remember.
I thought that
actually
ended in
coming.
like the early 60s
Yeah.
here.
And I'm trying to think of like big cities. Is there a milkman?
Sorry,
think there is.
sorry. We didn't expect
So
that.
fascinated by a milkman.
Up for sunrise and out as the local milkmen made their rounds, I began my walk from Newtown up to Old Town to
So
finally
pretty.
explore the Royal Mile. The Royal Mile is often considered to be the backbone of the city, stretching 1.6 kilometers between Edinburgh Castle and the Palace of Holyrood House.
Which I want to go to
Chances
that too.
are you've
Yes.
already seen it if you happen to watch Queen Elizabeth II's funeral procession, which made its way up from the palace to St. Giles Cathedral.
Yes.
The Royal Mile is packed with history and is also the central spot for tourism in the city. I dare to consider it the Times Square of Edinburgh,
Oh,
which
okay.
is why I chose to explore it so early without the crowds.
Smart.
Apparently, even earlier than garbage pickup. For those of you wondering, I think the best direction to walk this street is from the castle to the palace because you will be heading downhill.
So face the
So
sun.
here I am starting in the castle parking lot. We'll be back later to explore inside, but for now, I enjoyed the views of the sleepy city
Man.
below.
Okay, do you see what I mean though about her videos being awesome? Again, please subscribe to Ashley's channel. You'll find the link in the description of ours. This is freaking awesome. All the details, all the information, all the helpful
it
hints.
seems like she's hitting all the really good spots.
Beautiful scenery, beautiful filming, and just, I'm loving this. That's cool.
Ah,
That castle has my heart.
I love hearing cars. in
Edinburgh at one time was a walled city, defending its occupants from attack and invasion. The upper part of the Royal Mile sat squarely within this walled section, and evidence of its medieval past is easily recognizable from its cobblestone streets to its public execution sites and narrow closes.
Whoa.
A close, like Mary King's Close that I visited last night, is a small alleyway that once led residents to their homes deeper off the Royal Mile.
Okay, didn't know that.
The
Thank you.
closes were often named after a notable person who resided there, but not always. As a visitor, you can wander down many closes, but just keep in mind that these are still mostly residential areas.
Oh. So don't yell.
For a more
They're
public-facing place to explore, be sure to pay a visit to Victoria
Mexican
Street,
restaurant?
a colorful and charming thoroughfare filled with quirky shops
I love that
along its
area.
I
winding
want to go to the
corridor.
Elephant House.
This
Beautiful.
was just steps away from the Royal Mile.
I want to go there. Hey, trash guys.
As I continued down toward the Palace of Holyrood House,
Been
I was
there.
met with other early risers awaiting their tours for the day. And
Wow,
just
that's a lot.
beyond them, I stumbled upon the World's End pub. Definitely too early for a pint, but I stopped here to observe the brass plates in the road signifying the former gates built into the walls of the city. It was particularly interesting because there was a definitive change of character along the Royal Mile on the other side of this. There were far less shops, a paved road, and a more contemporary residential feel.
Still, that's cool. Don't know what it is, but that's cool. Ooh, yes. I've been wanting to see this for a long time.
Eventually, I arrived at Holyrood Palace, the official residence of the royal family in Edinburgh. It is home to over 900 years of Scottish royal history, including playing host to many significant
Dang.
events during the short reign of Mary, Queen of Scots. When the royals are out of town, the palace is open to the public for a guided audio tour through some of the most historic chambers of the complex.
I did not know that.
Nice.
Completely unintentional, I ended up being the very first visitor of the day, and if you want to know what it feels like to have your own palace, I'd recommend you try to be there when it opens as well.
What time was that, Ashley? My pen and paper.
And if you know, what time does it open so we can be there?
I think Ashley does. I think she has, again, I think her itineraries in this. I didn't know you could do tours in there.
Unfortunately, no photos were allowed inside, but the experience of wandering
That's why we
room
haven't
to
seen a video
room
of it.
alone will be one I'll never forget. Outside, you can pay a
Jeez.
visit to Holyrood Abbey, dating back to 1128, and take in the vibrant gardens.
Whoa. Whoa.
Amazing.
I would think that's somewhere in the tropics.
Right?
That is, look at the mountains in the
Moving
background.
over the palace is Arthur's Seat, an extinct volcano offering sweeping views of the city below. With several
Insanely
trails to
beautiful.
choose from, I embarked on a steep hike from the palace up the hillside and found the path to be quite rocky and crowded.
No, I can't do that. I'd stand down at the bottom.
I
and
don't
look
know
up.
about you, but I love hiking for its peace and solitude, and I'll just say that this experience definitely did not bring those.
Oh, interesting. We'll come back to that thought. I will be down there. Who wants to meet me down at the bottom of this trail while Debbie goes and hikes up, then lets me know what the footage she takes, how it looked.
So
Seriously.
some of you can hang out with her at the bottom. The rest of you can
Comment
hike on
section.
up the hill with me.
Comment section.
Solitude, and I'll just say that this experience definitely did not bring those.
Did not.
This was an unexpectedly popular spot. In
Yeah.
fact, I stopped myself from fully reaching the summit because there were just too many people. With
Damn
that being
tourists.
said, the views from this point were still enjoyable,
But
but
wow,
for me, Calton
look at
Hill
that.
remains the definitive winner.
Yeah. That doggy's cute.
Ready for a snack and a nap,
Hello?
I wanted to give a shout out to the Fudge House back on the Royal Mile, which
There's
I
a
passed
Fudge
as I
House?
was returning to my hotel. This shop is run by third-generation makers of traditional Scottish fudge. The staff was incredibly friendly, and it was some of the best fudge I've ever tried.
Is it?
We want some.
After a few
Whoa.
hours catching up on sleep, I was out again to attend my time slot, the last one of the day, at Edinburgh Castle.
Yes. Yes.
The castle is one of the oldest fortified places in Europe with a long history
Really?
as a military base, a royal residence, prison, and fortress.
I didn't know all that.
Besides the strength of the structure, its placement atop another dormant volcano solidifies itself as a true beacon of the cityscape and one of Edinburgh's most visited sites.
Well, yeah.
Once
I like
inside,
that.
there is so much to explore, including various museums, the Royal Palace, the Crown Jewels, and St. Margaret's Chapel, the city's oldest building.
Wow.
Unfortunately, the chapel was so crowded during my
Dang it.
attempt to peer inside that I was forced to turn around.
Yeah,
Sadly,
that was
much
Stop visiting places we want to go to and Ashley wants to go to. Stop it. I blame you, other Americans. Yeah. Stay home. Like you normally do.
We'll get there in person.
I'm kidding. I mean, that's just, yeah. That would frustrate me too, but this is stunning.
of my experience at the castle was met with a high crowd volume, making this a pretty taxing attraction. I chose to spend my time focusing on the outside spaces, taking in the
Smart.
architecture and city views.
There's so much to see.
A highlight for me as I explored these buildings was learning that the national animal of Scotland is the unicorn.
Unicorn. I knew
Could
that.
I love this place even more?
I know, right? It's awesome. Whoa, what's that?
To wrap up my last evening in Edinburgh, I booked a dining reservation at the Witchery, located right near
I don't like the
castle.
name.
No.
From the outside, the restaurant exudes medieval vibes and
But
is
it's cool.
actually nestled within a handful of
Brilliant.
16th century buildings. Its name is derived from the hundreds of men and women burned at the stake as witches on Castle Hill during the 15 and 1600s.
The freaky part of the story.
Inside the secret garden where I was seated was a lavish and dimly lit
that's
dining
cool.
room, easily making
Yeah.
this my most romantic solo dinner ever.
And again, actually, it doesn't have to be solo. You can have a threesome. I keep saying that. 3 people.
You don't
Trip.
have to be lonely.
A triple. A triple.
A triple romantic dinner, because that's romantic.
Look at that place. Look at these.
I know it's stunning
is.
inside there.
I was just thinking how romantic that is. Hang on, where's that spot that I want to show?
Inside the secret garden where I was seated was a lavish and dimly lit dining room.
Right there.
Yes.
I want to be there right now.
Mm-hmm. Let us know if you have eaten there.
I don't like the name, The Witchery. I just don't. Just makes
No.
me feel bleh. But my lord, that is gorgeous. And I want to, yeah. Yep.
I'm hoping she shows us some of the food.
Easily making this my most romantic solo dinner ever.
Beautiful.
And boy, did I
Beautiful.
spoil myself. I enjoyed an aged Scotch beef tartare appetizer with a Pinot Grigio, a pulled jackfruit and butternut squash lasagna, a chocolate torte, and a green tea.
Okay.
This meal was the perfect way to wrap
Pretty
up an
good.
incredible 72 hours in Edinburgh.
Oh, don't be done yet.
If you'd like to follow my itinerary or at least keep a running list of suggested spots in your back pocket for your trip, feel free to visit the link in my description for a pinned map of my adventure.
I did not want that to end. I did not want that to end.
No.
And
I wanted to keep traveling.
And it ended on such a high note too,
Mhm.
like with that amazing restaurant. That was so beautiful, so romantic. Man, if I could design a restaurant, that's the kind of place I would have as my own.
Yeah, I think you
Oh,
would for
wow.
sure.
Yeah, because I'm romantic.
You are.
Sorry.
Thing
I-
I really liked about, I'm sorry for
No, go ahead.
interrupting you. Thing I really noticed and really liked about Edinburgh was that there's not like the neon signs, not overly, advertising to you as you're walking down the street.
True.
I really did like that.
Yeah. Well, I don't see much of that in the UK anyway, though.
No, not
Some
not a
places,
whole
bigger
lot.
cities, right? But
yeah,
I like everything about Edinburgh. I do. There was nothing here I didn't like, except
No.
for the hiking up the hills. I just can't do it
Even
anymore.
like
I got
that.
arthritis and stuff. I'm
well, the
old.
more hiking I do, the more fudge I can eat. See how that works? Yeah.
Everything was class. Everything was beautiful. Everything I want to do. I want to go over here and visit. Her itinerary looked great.
It did.
And I'm sure you would tell us to add on to it. And please do that in the comments. And again, shout out to Ashley again, because really great video. Beautiful. If you're in Edinburgh, let us know what you thought. You could I don't see how you could not be happy with this video. And if you like this, please hit the like button on our video and consider subscribing. We wanted to pick a video that was something that we both really had a very strong passion about wanting to see. And especially today on my 20th anniversary of sobriety. And that's why I told Debbie, I said, I want to do our Edinburgh video. We've been waiting for about a month or so to do this video. And we really, I wanted this to be the one we did today. So I'm really thankful that we did. It put me in a good mood for the day. Thank you so much for watching. We really hope that you guys enjoyed this half as much as we did. And we'd like to hear from you in the comments too, if you live in Edinburgh, been of other things to do and places to check out.
Absolutely.
And
we want to see it all.
look more in depth on too. So we'll see you on the next episode, guys. Until then, please, as always, love like Jazz.
And be as strong as Tyson.
Bye.
Bye.